Business Network. So much for one broadcast.
Elder statesman Dr. Alexander Ifeanyichukwu Ekweme, 1932 to 2017. And so sadly, the curtains came down on the first executive vice president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria at the age of 85 years. Adieu, Your Excellency. We sure will miss you. Rest in peace, Papa. So long. Hello, everyone. A very warm welcome to you, and many thanks indeed for joining us. You're watching the EOM Business Network. We're coming to you from the studios of EOM Communications. Today on the program, as usual, our conversation is on the Nigerian economy. We'll be speaking with some industry operators about their businesses, the operating environment, and other related issues. Also, the lineup is spot on, and we have the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Oshobaye, Bello Rasaki. And on the face-to-face is another industry juggernaut, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Novelty Homes Limited, Patrick Oyekachi. This is a must-watch. I am Olorogo Elkanah Moware. Don't go away. Oh yes, please stay with us.
Ogun State is one of the southwestern states in Nigeria of Yoruba descent. The Gateway State, as it is popularly called, was created in February 1976 with a population of 3,751,140 people, according to the 2006 census. It has a coordinate of 6.9075 degree north, 3.5813 degree east, sharing borders with Lagos State to the south, Oyo and Osun states to the north, Ondo to the east, and the Republic of Benin to the west. Ogun State is the hub of industrialization in the southwest zone of Nigeria, with a high concentration of fast-growing industries. One of the high points of Ogun State is the number of prominent personalities across diverse economic sectors of Nigeria, complemented with the visibility of religious and academic institutions, as well as tourist centers. The Economic Confidential newspaper listed last year that Ogun State is one of the 5 rich states in Nigeria in terms of internally generated revenue, which is similar to the report by the National Bureau of Statistics released earlier this year, rating Ogun State as number 1 among the 36 states of the Federation in terms of percentage improvement of the IGR between 2014 and 2015. The provision of an investor-friendly environment for businesses on all frontiers make Ogun truly a gateway state. It is against this background that the Proudly Nigerian campaign presents Proudly Ogun State Gateway Connect 2018 Series 1, which seeks to promote and celebrate whole local content, goods and services made in Ogun State. The theme of the conference and exhibition is Cost and Ease of Doing Business in Ogun State, while the topics are State of Infrastructure in Ogun State, Yesterday, Now, and Expectations. The role of government and the organized private sector in encouraging 100% local content development. Date coming soon. Venue, Abeokuta, Ogun State. Conference lead speaker, distinguished entrepreneur, support speaker, Chief Mrs. Adetola Adebutu, President, Ogun Council of Chambers, Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, Ogun Sima. Participants, SMEs and multinationals resident in Ogun State. Branded exhibition booths and spaces available for exhibitors at affordable price. For more information, call Michael 081 5262 8956, Peter 080 3714 5922. Welcome to Ogun State, the gateway to unlimited business opportunities. Proudly Nigerian campaign, great nation, great opportunities.
Findings from global economic evaluations suggest that for any economic climb to achieve a friendly, conducive and thriving business environment, the establishment of social infrastructures like health, electricity, roads, communication, transportation systems, physical structures, as well as friendly tax regimes and so on is essential. In fact, some of the major roots of Nigeria's economic stagnation can be traced to infrastructure deficit, insufficient implementation of developmental policies, lack of consistency to agreed policies, financial mismanagement, and unfriendly tax regimes, amongst others. Recent results from the Article 4 consultation with Nigeria by the International Monetary Fund has also presented the unsustainability of Nigeria's economic policies as a major problem, which has necessitated a strategy to transform the economy into a more diversified and inclusive one. Economic experts have therefore recommended that for Nigeria to improve on its 1% real growth in its economic recovery plans to revamp the current economic challenges and indeed compete favorably in the circle of global economic powers, then about 25% of its gross domestic product must be sincerely and consistently committed to infrastructure development over the next 10 years. EOM Business Network spoke to a cross-section of industry captains on the prospects and challenges of doing business in Nigeria. Farouk Alogba is co-founder of Encentral Solutions Limited.
While I was working as a developer in the organization that I worked before I decided to become a freelancer, I realized that we did a lot of government projects. And doing those projects, they're very expensive projects, and then when the projects are deployed, the solutions are hardly used. And usually it could be due to change management, people resistance to change, and the fact that not everybody were carried along, or probably the solution was really a fit for the organization. So I decided to branch out and do something different. Like, we have to work on projects that really it's effective, that is impactful, and because of that, we created Encentral Solution with the goal of ensuring that any project we work on, our customers are satisfied, and there's the level of impact and effectiveness of such solutions. A lot of progress being made, and I think things are progressing. We're not there yet, but there's a lot of progress, like I mentioned. The ecosystem is developing. Before, there were hardly things like conferences, developer conferences, and you'd hardly find government organizations like NIDA getting involved. But these days, you have a lot of all those activities, happening. A lot of developer conferences, and then the system it's moving. A lot of youths are now being exposed to the advantages of going into IT and developing software development skills. A lot of schools are also introducing coding, and a lot of after holiday coaching classes on coding and stuff are happening. I think so. There's a lot of development in that area. Well, we are not an infrastructure company. We're focused on software development, and I would say that we are already ahead. We've been building software for over the years, and currently we have a product, a data collection platform called Atara. It's cloud-based. So based on such, we would need infrastructure such as broadband to run on. And so I guess I would say we're ahead of the game. When the infrastructure is available, it enables more penetration because the application can then get to a lot more people, than it's currently getting to. Especially as regards to ICT, that's the issue of power. We talked about mentioned broadband, and then there's a lot that's already going on. So if we have the broadband, we have power. I think that's really enough to get us started. Say for example, if you look at India is they've invested a lot in the economy. A lot of their population are involved in software, And this didn't just happen all of a sudden. The government invested in that sector. They provide like low-cost materials, textbooks at a very early age. They have very good broadband, connection, because a lot of Indians do remote work. They work for countries, other countries like the U.S., United Kingdom, and all those other places. But they're still based in India. So the good thing about software is you can work remotely. So you can be in your village as long as you have power, you have internet. You can actually do all this work and make money and improve your economy.
Victor Efemesia is Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of WeatherGuard Nigeria Limited.
WeatherGuard brand was born as a trademark for another company, Softstar Limited. I registered this company in 2007, and going through the registration of the trademark, it took us a lot of bureaucracy, so we couldn't go through with that. So we decided to actually register the company properly as WeatherGuard Limited. And WeatherGuard Limited is a company whose sole goal is to provide the best price per square meter for canopy installations all over the country. We can provide canopy installations for homes, for schools, for businesses, and for any public space. So that basically is the driving idea behind WeatherGuard brand. In Nigeria, to provide a canopy, basically you need two things. The first thing is the steel structure, and then you need the canopy roofing material. So what we found when we started the company is that there was a gap. There were a lot of artisans in Nigeria that knew how to fabricate and design and make the steel structure, because the steel can be locally sourced. But to find good quality roofing canopy material was a problem. So this is where we saw a gap, and we decided, okay, let's bridge this gap by providing affordable canopy roofing materials and not compromising on quality. Thus far, we've been able to provide, I think we can humbly say that we're one of the top suppliers in Nigeria, nationwide, of top quality canopy roofing materials like the shade net, the polycarbonate sheets, Dampalon, and stuff like that. So we've been able to help the artisans, these artisans who are skillful, who couldn't before WeatherGuard easily source these quality roofing materials. So we've been able so far to provide this, make it available and reasonably priced. So these artisans are sort of, instead of going through a lot of trouble sourcing these materials, they just come to WeatherGuard, and the materials are readily available for them. Well, I think the way to go is entrepreneurship. Not everybody can be an entrepreneur, but they're just saying that entrepreneurs are born, not made, and I think that's not true. I think it's something that can be learned. Because if you go to other countries, you see that in business schools, entrepreneurship is something that they really hammer on. And entrepreneurship is the way forward, because if I set up a business, I employ 2, 3, 4 people. I'm helping the government. Instead of looking for people that will maybe employ thousands and big conglomerates that will do stuff like that. So I think entrepreneurship is the way forward. And with the past administration's UN and the YES program of this present administration, I think the government is trying their best to help with this kind of solutions. So I think entrepreneurship is the way to go. The major challenges we're facing is access to funds, and then the infrastructure, which is electricity, power, roads, which we've talked about. In terms of access to funds, like overseas, you can borrow money from a bank at maybe 1%, 2%, I don't know, under 5%, single digits interest rates. But here, it starts from 27, 28%, because the banks claim that they get it from CBN at maybe 15 or 20%. So you can't blame them, because they are running a business as well, and they need to make profit. So if the government can find a way to reduce their own, maybe the CBN rates, and then that way the banks can also reduce their own rate. I think this will help a lot, because if you think about it, if you borrow money for, maybe you borrow 1 million for at 27%, that means you have to pay 1,270,000 at the end of the year. What I think, in my own opinion, that will help small SMEs is access to cheap financing.
Bello Rasaki is the Chief Executive Officer of Osho Baye.
We started as far back as 2015, but before then we've been into small business. We did our registration 2015, and with the help of AE, we were able to raise funds through the CBN special scheme. So with the sincerity and the trustworthiness of their staff, I didn't need to know anybody. We tender our business plan, what we have in mind I want to do, and they were able to give us something to start up with. When we got that, we swing into action. We have a laundry and dry cleaning firm which is located in Gwarimpa First Avenue. We have fashion house at the same place too. We have unisex salon, and we are into industrial and mechanized cleaning service, and we're also into finance, business and investment consultant. So from 2015 we were able to start up gradually. The good part was that for the first time in Nigeria we were able to get a loan that we were giving 6 months upfront to start up. So that really helps us a lot. 80% of SME that fail is because of startup, financial constraint, the Nigeria normal problem. But because of the 6 months they gave us ahead, all these problems we were able to face them out in that 6 months before we started repaying up. Growing up as a young man, I used to look at people who are successful in business. I used to, if I'm moving there, I used to see Dangote as, you see the name every time, and I just wanted to have a company one day. The name should be popular to the world. Growing up in it, doing service to humanity, then in turn, building that name I wanted to build for myself. So when I finished my school, I did my ANAN, then sit down, design business plans for myself, like 5 different types. They were huge, so I picked the list, which is what I'm doing today. I need to start from somewhere. I know I will not have much capital, but I'm looking at what I'll have 2 to 3 million to start with. This I can start with. So I picked it out of the business and started with this. So our mission is to get to that level in life where we compete internationally. Yeah, I think government should help the youth. When you give somebody a loan to start a business and the repayment period is 2 years, give him tax holiday. We are the one that need tax holiday, not the big men. Somebody that invests 10 billion in a business and is having 20, 30 billion in his account cannot fall. He has something to revive or cushion his business. You are giving 2, 3 million to start a business, and that's the final. Shop rent in Abuja, before you get a good place, you are looking at 1 million, 1.5. You're having 1 million left, and you put it into the business. Before you open AMAC come, FIRS come, they start placing something on your body. If you are not strong, you collapse. Those, when you talk about light, well, those ones are long-time problem that it will take time to solve. But these ones that I just mentioned are immediate problem that governments can look into. You don't give somebody loan to start an SME, and he has not repaid the loan with high interest, and you are going for tax, you are going for charges, you are going for penalty, your signboard posts, your advert post. By the time he pays all these things, forgetting like what I told you, I was praising CBN and AEA. They gave us 6 months. It helps us a lot. If they didn't give us that 6 months, I bet you by now I wouldn't be telling you any story. We will collapse.
Patrick Oyekachi is Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Novelty Homes Limited.
Novelty Homes started December 2013 with a vision to provide affordable property for the masses, especially people in Lagos. We came up with this idea because we discovered a lot of people actually want to come to Lekki Axis, but they have one question in mind: can I really afford it? A lot of people believe for you to own a property in Lekki area, you must have your money in millions. That is where we came in, and we decided to create a unique plan that can afford people to own a property within their earning, irrespective of what they earn monthly. Yeah, Novelty Home PSI is a new project we just launched into the market to help people acquire property without paying directly from their pocket, and people can actually generate money from the system that we have created up to the tune of 500,000 naira within 30 days. PSI is designed to help as many as possible, that not just people that want to acquire property, but it will enable you acquire the property in your church location, and also help you to raise money to build the property you have acquired within our estate. So PSI is a program that can change people's life if they take advantage of it. I think bank has not really been too supportive in times of development, because if you approach a bank for a loan for development, the requirement is always beyond what you can pay in terms of the interest rate. So it's beyond what people can really handle. The interest rate is too much for people to bear, so banks are not really helping in terms of development. The major challenge we have right now is financial support. Of course, if for you to build or create an estate, you need some basic infrastructure, which from the beginning you might not have all it takes. So you will need a financial support. That is one. And two, infrastructure will help. If government can do their part in connecting the road network, it will help to improve the real estate industry as a whole.
And that's about it on today's package of the EOM Business Network. Thank you for having spent your time with us. We trust it was worth the while. But just in case you missed out on any aspect of it, then come with us to eomcoms.com. A big thank you to you, our sponsors, for your continued interest and support. And on behalf of the rest of the production team, please always remember, we are charms. Oh yes. Again, sincere condolences to the families of Dr. Alexander Ifeanyichukwu Ekweme. May the good Lord console you and indeed grant you the fortitude to bear this irreparable loss. Join us again, same time, same channel on Friday. I remain Olorogo Elkanah Moware. We'll see you then.